Our next question comes from our guest, Leslie. Leslie, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
My question is that my teenage nephew is fearful in social situations. I'm concerned about it. How do you work to improve the comfort level of interaction in social activities?
Well, social activities are an important part of a teen's life, right? Because they're developing that area in the brain to be social. And so it's important to them, and peer pressure is really strong when you're a teenager. So I start with kind of exploring where the fear started and how it came about. What was the initial sensitizing event that happened where they become fearful? And then I work with any traumas related to the fear from the past that may have precipitated the fear, and teach them how to use the power of the mind, which is very interesting because I work on the conscious level, like we're talking here now, but I also work on the subconscious level. And I teach the same skills as an athlete would use to be able to perform better and to improve performance. So from the very start, I'll explore with this person, so what are the challenges, and get to know the person and trust your nephew, for instance, get to develop trust. And then from there, I teach exercise like breathing easy. So breathing easy, you can use that as a therapy, and it's free, right? Because we all have to breathe air. And you can really, literally start to envision yourself as as being a very social person, but it's all in your mind. It's kind of what I call an exposure therapy. So you might have heard some people say, feel the fear and do it anyway. So you're kind of pushed into a situation that you don't feel very comfortable in. But I like to use the power of the mind. So the exposure therapy comes about by using what I call mental rehearsal. So you imagine yourself in a situation, say in different scenarios, meeting new people on the school bus or meeting new people in the classroom at the beginning of the school year. And so we talk about it in my office. Okay, let's talk about this scenario and that scenario. And we talk about how you'll approach this person, what will you say, what will you do, how will you respond when a person says this or that to you. And then in a very relaxed hypnotic state, you go into the zone. I call that the zone, right? So you're in the zone and you're open to positive suggestions and also to use your imagination. So now you see yourself, feel yourself, hear yourself in that situation, but you could be practicing this at home on your bed. And then the more you practice it, the more you mentally rehearse, the easier it is to approach this person because you are making the tracks in your brain as if you're actually there in the social situation, but you're not you're at home, you're maybe sitting on your bed. So then, once the person begins to rehearse, they go out into the social situation to see how it's working. They come back and we put it on a feedback loop. So then the feedback loop, you can look at what you did, what you said, how did you feel, what were you thinking, and then we fine tune it for the next time around. So the more you mentally rehearse, the more you practice, it builds up confidence so that you can really take the first step. And from there, you can build on it. So it works very well, and it's very easy exposure because you're using the power of your mind and your own imagination.
Thank you.